You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. Okay, so this is more like some game system, and yeah, with the game system, they are basically selling these, yeah, let's say the boxes itself. They normally like stick inside of your, let's say, Pandora's box. So inside the package, you're going to get yourself 2 controllers, the U versions. I've got the wired version. Oh my, I have so many of these things now, but they are like okay quality. Like some of them, let's put it that way. But you can already see like one of the giveaways when it is really like bad is this, like no rubber at all. Like this is like the cheap, very long travel, cheap quality buttons, absolutely garbage. But the reason why they give you these special controllers, because with these boards you don't have always the option to use, let's say, multiple controllers. You can use an like a USB hub on it, but these special controllers come with only one USB connection. You can plug it in. Yeah, there are 2 connections over here, but only one can be used for actually like an input device. So we do have like the VGA out, HDMI, volume control, on and off switch. They're using a jumper over here for basically when you're plugging it in, yeah, you're going to get some juice. And plugging in, you're just going to get yourself your typical 12-volt power supply. So that's what you're going to get inside this white box. Ah, there it is. I was thinking like, yeah, we do have like the HDMI cable is included. And of course the deluxe manual, and I can see like not the toilet paper stuff that we're getting normally. This is quite interesting, like say explanation. You can see like this is basically like universal manual they're sending you, because this is also for the Gemma and the family edition. But they didn't change out a lot. They will explain you like how everything works, so they did a good job with that. But let's take a close look at the game system and what are we going to get with this new one. So this is the new Pandora games from that EU gaming store. So basically what you're going to get is a basically typical mainboard already set at, but let's do a quick teardown. So it's just a casing. You can just slap it inside of some of these Pandora's boxes. This was the new edition, and the main problem with these devices are they're always saying like new edition, but the only thing they're doing is like adding more crap, more double stuff to it, and I'm hoping they change something out. But the thing like Pandora, the software, they like updated a lot of stuff. They basically like keep the original, let's say, problematic problems with it, like screen tearing and stuff like that. The other thing they changed out with this one is like, let's see, here we can see like this is absolutely a brand new board. It comes with the 905. I think this is the 905W. But let's remove this cooling element. It's quite a big one, but they are like went from the active fans to passive. I'm guessing it's just an easy way of selling it. There's still one cable attached, but that's the Wi-Fi, because this thing does have Wi-Fi capabilities, but it is very limited. You have this weird store that you can go to and yeah, do a lot of stuff with it. But did it work with everybody? Because I've read in the comments that a lot of people did have issue with this. Alright, so when you're looking at the specifications, or better said, the chipset, yeah, you can see like they're using some really old school tech. So this is the AM Logic S905. For the people like familiar to this, like it's similar to the Super Console specs. Yeah, and this is those just basic, you know, like we're going to get only a couple of RAM chips. Yeah, the specification of this thing is not amazing. A little bit of a bummer. So when it comes to these boards, they try just to downgrade it and find cheaper ways to make it, or that is what I think of it. Especially when you're looking at the layout, the way they constructed it. So basically, like when it comes to revision, they like keep improving it, but when it comes to the specs, that is nothing much. So let's hook it up, let's see what we can do with it and what can we play. So one thing is just a fact that you can use this thing actually pretty damn good for a game system. You hook up your controllers and can just have a lot of arcade fun or retro fun. But what did it change out with the menu? Nothing much. That is one thing that was sure. So what you're going to get is the all list, the category over here. Let's press start to go to the search. So we're going to get the recent list, the categories. So we do still have PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 1, and 64 with all the same issues. We do have like the Super NES, Game with Fonts, Color, Classic. Hey! They did change something out. Finally they fixed the logos over there. That is plausible, absolutely. So let's take a close look at the next one, PC Engine. I really love the system. They only added like two games. Some of these systems have more, but the problem is with these, like they run also mostly of the time like shit, glitching, slowdowns, you name it. So they're like really worth mentioning. And of course arcade. But let's take a close look at the settings. Alright, so let's take here. With key settings, scoring, all the same yada yada. They already disabled image optimization. It's kind of funny because it's really hate image optimization. We have HD and scanline. Let's see. Enter the game settings. Now here we can basically like go into the game settings and change out all the difficulties. As you can see over here. So it's a little bit of a bummer. Oh, I just wanted to show you this, the external game management. So basically what you can do over here is like add new stuff to it. I wouldn't say fairly easy, but it seems to be working. But of course, with a better tool like Pandora tool, you can do even more. And then we have like enter the game market. This is why the Wi-Fi is basically for, like the Naughty store, where you can search for new stuff. Yeah, absolutely weird, because I did read like a lot of people did have issues with it, that you can't get on the store, getting error when try to download something. So again, I don't really mention it that much because I think it's pretty damn useless. And we have factory data reset, and that's it. So there's nothing much changed over here. Wah, wah, and no aspect ratio. Alright, so if you want to play the game, you need to press on the analog button, because here you can see nothing seems to be working. Press the analog and it will be activated. So let's press this 2 on 2. But I think they didn't add or disable the freaking 2-player one, so that seems to be not working today. But you can see I still have some issues with this. So when it comes to the controllers and PlayStation Portable, that's not going to be a right fit. Alright, so I ran through the configuration system over here, but nothing seems to work, like setting wrongly, like everything seems to be working fine. Alright, so let's see, we can boot up player 2. Wow. Can tell you, like, the control is really rubbish, like absolutely rubbish. So let's see if we can even run some PlayStation 1. Okay, the funny thing is like the button configuration is not like it should be. But when it comes to PlayStation 1 on systems like these, they run just fine, you know, like they are capable. But I already tell you, like even I cannot like test PlayStation Portable, it runs like shit. It's way too, let's say, too complex to emulate on such a basic chip. Okay, so next up, N64. Yeah, N64 will always be a problem on this cheap device, but there are some games playable. One of my favorite ones is Bug Bumble. Such a fun game to play. But actually we're having a controller compared with normally like a joystick from an arcade stick. You can see that stutters, like it does have so many freaking FPS drops. To be honest, I don't know which buttons need to shoot. Oh, there it is. Whee! But what I do like about this system, they are capable enough to running some 8-bit and 16-bit stuff. The only weird thing is like we always need to find out which button to press for freaking playing this game. Oh, there we are. Even despite like the control feels really cheap, it's making some of the games playable at least. No weird like sound glitches, whatever. Come on! I really love when you do that. Do we still have a very cool tune? Oh yeah. That's something they didn't like really try to fix, is like the quick load and quick save option. It seems to be working on these, like say the 8-bit, 6-bit stuff, but also like with the higher end PlayStation 1, it doesn't run at all. Whereas some of the boxes like Pandora Box DX does have this feature. So a little bit of a bummer that they still don't give a shit about it or fixing these issues. Another weird thing is like only one single game, Mortal Kombat 1, has a loading time of freaking like a minute or so. And basically like this is one of those systems that I don't get, like why does it take so long? Because when you're looking at some of the boxes I've reviewed, they have almost like instant loading. Kind of weird, don't you think so? Alright, already give automatically credit. Let's see if I can start it up. Wow, that was a really delay in the audio. Oh, that sounds really bad. Yeah, but can I enter the game or what? Ah, there it is. Freaking finally. So you can see like we do have a lot of hassle like getting into the game and... Alright, so let's see. Wow, look at this. I don't know what's with you, but... Holy crap, there's a lot of delay. You can hear like the audio is completely messed up sometimes. Oh, the delay is absolutely ridiculous.